everybody. Thank you so much for joining me here today at Re-Ritten Vintage Homestead. My name is Molly. I am Mrs. Re-Ritten, and I'm also the owner of Rittenhouse Farms, and my son helps me with that here in the rural Midwest, where we live on a little over 1 acre, but we do a lot with that mighty acre. And it is 93 degrees out today. It is hot. So Marshall and I are staying inside, and you guys know what I like to do when it's hot. I like to cook. I don't know why. I think it's because the air conditioning's on and it gives me like a false sense of the weather. I love to cook when it's hot outside. So I want to show you what I'm going to use today. They had Mandarin oranges on sale at Meijer this week. 2 big bags. These are, of course it doesn't say, but I think there's like 12 in a bag because I've already peeled 12, and 2 of them for $5. So that was pretty good, $2.50 each. And I'm going to show you how to use every bit, from the Mandarin orange itself to the peel to the bag. So stay tuned. So I started this little farm stand about 3-4 weeks ago, and it has really taken off. I can't tell you how excited I am about it. It's been a dream of mine forever to own my own store of some kind, and I've always farmed no matter where I have lived. So it just seemed a natural fit. Plus I love to teach, and this way with my YouTube channel, I can teach eventually. Maybe it'd be nice. I had someone ask me if I could teach canning lessons, and that may be something in the future. But today on YouTube, I'm going to show you how to make Mandarin orange jam. Delicious, delicious condiment, and it's also wonderful on pork chops, ribs, small pieces of chicken, like if you want to make orange chicken, toast, muffins. And it's super easy, so you're gonna love it. So let's get started. We are going to need 12 Mandarin oranges in our little pot here. This recipe is from Ball Blue Book, and it's very old. So you're just gonna open up your Mandarin here. I love these little, the little ones they make anymore, where they're just really easy to peel. Now you wanna try to get as much of the pith, which is this white part of the peel, off. And you can see how I do it. I just, after I take the peel off, I just take my fingernail and I just scrape it off. I do that for every orange, and then I wash my hands in between oranges. Don't panic if you don't get it all off, because it's not going to hurt anything. It's just a bitter taste. I'm sure you guys at one point in your life have tried to taste an orange peel and they are really bitter. So we're just trying to get off as much as we can here with our fingers, and then I'll wash my hands in between oranges. But like I said, don't panic. And don't you wonder who makes up English words? Who made up the English language? I think it's such a funny word, pith. It sounds like somebody with a lisp got really upset one day because they didn't get it all off, and they meant to say piss, like, oh, piss. And instead, they said, well, we'll just call this pith. I'm sorry, you guys. Sometimes I crack myself up. All right, so we have 12 Mandarin oranges in there, so let's get going. In my blender, I'm taking the Mandarin oranges and I'm going to puree those, and then I will put them back in my pot. If you don't have a food processor or a blender, don't worry about it. You can use a mixer. So I will save your ears. I'll get this pureed and then we'll continue. So I'm really surprised I ended up with what I needed, which is 4 cups of the Mandarin orange juice, because you need 12 of the mandarins, and my mind gets to wandering. It's so relaxing, and I'll be there peeling them and I lose count. So you might want to maybe keep a little list over there by you, and so you can help keep track. So now we're going to take our liquid, 4 cups, and we're going to pour it into our pot. And to that, I'm going to add 1 package of Sure-Gel pectin. And this is a 1.75 ounce box. And make sure that you check, which I probably just ripped it off, the expiration date on your box. Mine's good until 2026, so I'm okay. But you don't want to go through all this work and find out your pectin's expired and you have trouble getting it to set. So make sure that you check that. I'm going to add my fruit pectin. And then to that, I just poured it. Here it is. I'm going to add a half a cup of lemon juice, and I just use the real lemon juice, but you can also squeeze your own if you like. And I'm just going to stir this, and then I'm going to put it on the stove. We need to bring it to a boil. So I have my juice here at a rolling boil, and I'm going to let it boil for 1 minute. And you might see that there's some foam that's rising to the top here. Now it'll probably more than likely cook away because of the acidity of the oranges, but if it worries you, you can add 1 teaspoon of butter, and that seems to help with the foam. And I'm just going to let that melt and wait for my timer to cook for 1 minute. So this has been cooking for a minute, and now I'm going to add 4.5 cups of sugar. And I'm going to stir that in until I can't cook it down anymore. And once that happens, I'll set the timer, and we're going to cook it another minute. So you can see our foam is about gone, and now I've cooked this down as much as I can. I don't see any more sugar granules, and it's boiling. So I'm going to set my timer, and I'm going to cook this for 1 minute. Now it's time to put this in our jars, and I'm going to leave a 1/4 inch headspace. I've got my jars being sterilized here behind me. Going to add a little more here. Then we're going to take our rubber spatula, and we're going to go all the way around, and that's to get rid of any air bubbles that might be in here, because we want to make sure we get a good seal on top. Also, if you have any foam, you can skim it off with your spatula as well. I've got a little water on my cloth here, and I'm going to go around the top and the outside, because we want to make sure that we get a good seal. And I always take my hand and go over the top. Then I'm going to get my magnet. And my lids have been boiling for just a little bit. And put my ring on just finger tight like this. Once I get them all done, they're going to go in my water bath for 10 minutes. Then I will time them. I'll turn my heat off and let them sit in there another 5 minutes. So 15 minutes total, 10 minutes in a boiling bath, 5 minutes with the heat off, and then they will set. Now, when you take these out, you can see it's still a little runny. Don't let that worry you. As it cools, it's going to thicken. It's already starting to thicken here, but it'll. So I've got my jars over there processing, and they still have about 6 minutes. And in the meantime, we're going to make something out of our rinds. We are going to make a wonderful orange vinaigrette. It's going to have to sit for a while, but let me show you how you do it. So I just have quart jars here, and I've added the rinds. And you can use any kind of vinegar that you like. I'm going to use the white because that is what I have the most of. And you're just going to cover your rinds with the vinegar. Now, if you wanted to mix other citrus in here like lemon or lime, that's fine to do too. I'm going to do an orange honey mustard vinaigrette for salad. So let's get these covered. And these are lids that I've already used to can, so they're no good to me anymore anywhere else. So I am going to put those on top, screw my lid on, and then I'm just going to put these in my cupboard where it's dark for about 2 weeks. Every now and then I'm going to shake them up. And you can use any kind of jar for this. It doesn't have to be a canning jar. So that's what I'm going to show you of this right now. And then in 2 weeks, we will strain it and we will make salad dressing. So my recipe made 4 half pints and 3 of the half pints, which I think Mason calls jelly jars. And I had a little bit left that I'm going to have for my afternoon snack. It's already set. Look at how pretty that is. It's a beautiful color. This would be great for like Halloween snacks. Oh, I just heard one of my jars pop. Fall, it's a beautiful fall color. Isn't that pretty? And it tastes delicious. Now, what's the difference between this? Got my mouth full. And orange marmalade. So orange marmalade will have the rind in it as well. I think the rind is really bitter. I don't like it that well. What makes this a jelly instead of a jam? We don't have chunks of fruit in it. It's fairly clear. Jams have chunks of fruit. And as we cooked this down, we pureed it, we cooked it down, it turned it into a clear liquid. So it's very easy to make. Very easy to make. Now, lastly, don't throw your bags away. Because if you open them from the top, and they already have a little hole right here, they do the same function as these bags that I bought off of Amazon last year to dry my walnuts in. So if you have onions, garlic, walnuts, potatoes, you can put them in here and hang them up on a hook in your pantry, and that will keep them nice and in a dark place and fresh for you. So see, we used every part of these $2.50 mandarins. We made jelly, we made vinegar, and we also are going to use the bag. So that is as resourceful as you can get. You guys, thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, and share if you feel so inclined. It really helps me out. Give this a try. This is super easy. Let this be the first one that you try and come back and see me.